Good morning, student. Yesterday topic we have already completed exercise 2.2, correct? After that we have to go for more. In that 2.3 exercise is that in that before some theorems are there. So just first go for the theorem, then we will start with the exercise 2.3. Okay, first proof of irrationality of the number. It means in this exercise we have to solve, we have to show the proof of that this number is irrational or not. And as you know, irrational numbers are which number? The numbers which are in the under root and they are not perfect square. Irrational numbers are the expressed in the form of root p, where p is a positive prime number. Prime number in the sense the number is not divisible with any number. That is, for example, root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, 7 root 5. This all the numbers are called as a irrational. And we have to do the proof part of this in this exercise. Before that, I am giving you some theorems. That theorems are very important for the exam also and for your future purpose also. So please go through very careful with these theorems and do it more practice for these theorems. Okay. First, I am starting with the theorem 2.3. Theorem 2.3 is saying let p be a prime number. This p is your prime number if p is divided a square. So I have written here p is my prime number and it is dividing what? A square. Then p divides a where a is a positive integer. So that we have to prove that p is also dividing what? A. Is it clear? So this is the part I have written here given as a. This is given and this is has to be proof. Okay, given is what? The prime number p is dividing the a square. So that we have to prove that p also dividing a. Normal a. Okay. Now I am giving the solution. Just see here how to. This is the complete theorem. There is no different kind of solution. So just go through the theorem. If you understand this theorem, you have to use the last part of this theorem in the question. There is not requirement of back to back again and again. You have to use this complete. You should know that what is the actual theorem. Okay. Now, by the factorization method, as you know, we are doing the factorization, the prime factorization we have done before the exercise 2.1, okay, and 2.2, there is some questions we have done, correct? Now here, a, I am assuming a is my that number, integer number, and I am doing the prime factorization. So by the prime factorization, what I will get? A equals to this, all the prime numbers which I will get as my a, correct? If I will write here, I have written some here, 30 equals to this, 30 is my number, that is my a, and it is doing the prime factorization, that is 3 into 2 into 5. This all numbers are prime factors, correct? So I have written p1 into p2 into pn. Is it clear? I am assuming this one is the first equation. After that, by the squaring both sides, you can write here by squaring, what you are getting? A square. You are putting the a as a square, so a square equals to this complete part also as a square. This is your second equation. A square equals to p1 square into p2 2 square, that is, and pn square. This is the way I can write this form in this, correct? Now, since as you know, this p is your prime number, divides what? A square, correct or not? This a square divided by this prime numbers, correct? In that any one number can be prime. As example I have taken here, 30 into 3 into 2 into 5. This is also p number, this is also p, and this is also p. P can be this, b can be this, and p this, there can be this. So I can write p is divide a square, so that the prime pre number is dividing p square into, this is the way I can write. This is called prime factorization. Correct or not? Same. It means p is a one of the factor. P is a one of the factor of p1, p2 and pn. As you know, I have given you example. You can understand from this. So that p divides p1 into p2 into pn. Till this, because of this, you can see this part I can write as here. I have written here a equals to p1 into p2 into pn. Correct? So on the place of this, I can write what? A. So that I am getting my answer. P divides a. Hence, proof. So I can say that this p assume as this p as your any integer and this a assume as a 2. You can take it as a number. Okay. So what the question is saying? Prime divides the number. Is it clear? The integer number. Is it clear? This is the theorem. We will use this theorem in the next theorem also for understand. So please go through this theorem properly. This is very easy theorem. I have given a solution also. You should learn this line. Let p be a prime number if p divides a square, then p divides a also. This is the, you have to learn it. From this I have done this, correct? So this is your theorem now, okay? You have to learn this theorem, and very important theorem. Please go through this theorem. After that, come to the theorem 2.4. This is also very important. Some questions come on the base of this theorem also, and just see how to solve this theorem also. Prove that root 2 is irrational. What I have to prove? Root 2 is irrational. Already we know that root 2 is irrational. But here we have to prove. Prove in the sense we have to make it that this is, yes, really, it is root 2 is a irrational number. So how that is, I have written here, just see. Let root 2 is a rational. I am assuming what? I am assuming the contradiction. What I am assuming? That root 2 is your rational number. If it is a rational number, I can write this number as a by b form. Correct or not? Where b is not equals to 0. Is it clear? And a and b are both are the integer. Correct or not? This is the form of rational number. Now, by taking as a SCF in the sense a and b both as a, I am assuming as a prime number. Correct? This is a prime number, co-prime number. So their factor also what? 1 only. So that's why I am sending root 2p. This b I am sending this side. So root 2 into b equals to a. I am assuming this one is the first equation. By squaring both the side in equation first, I am squaring both the side. So what I am getting? Root 2b square equals to a square. After opening the bracket, root 2 and 2 it cancel, become 2b square, means b square equals to a square. This is your second equation. Correct. Now understand these terms which from the I am writing here also theorem 1.3 2.3 is using here. See here. So that 2 divides a square. You know that we have done in the theorem. Here you can see this is your prime number and 2 is your that b is your integer and 2 is your any number which is dividing. So what you can write? 2 divides a square. So you can see this 2 into 5 equals to 10. So what you can write? 2 equals to 10 by 5 or not? Correct. So 2 is dividing, or you can write 5 equals to 10 by 2. 2 is dividing the number. So 2 divides the a square. So that 2 divides a also. Prime number divides the integer. We have done theorem 2.3. So that I am assuming this. I can take another as an integer as a c. 2c equals to a. I can take it. Correct. I am taking another integer to explain how it is irrational. Okay. So that putting the value of a in the equation 2. This value I am putting in the equation 2. 2b square equals to a square. This is the equation 2. In that I am putting 2 into b square equals to a square. We have done here. We are assuming a equals to 2c. So we can write a square equals to what? 2c whole square. So 2b square equals to 4c square. B square is equals to 4c square upon this 2 multiplying it will go that side divide. Correct? 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So b square equals to 2c square. So that 2 divides b square again. You can see 2 divides b square. Then 2 divides b. Theorem 1.3 I am using. A and b have at least 2 as a common. You can see b also divided with the 2. A also divided with the 2. You can see here. A also divides with the 2. So you can see this. By this, A and B have at least 2 as a common factor. So this is the contradict the fact that the A and B have a no common factor. So this contradiction has arisen because of our wrong assumption. We have taken wrong assumption. So that root 2 is a irrational. Hence, proved. Is it clear? This is the way you have to prove the root 2 as an irrational number. Some question based on this we have. Just go through this assumption and I am giving you some more theorem to do by yourself as a homework. Now come to the next part. Some homework question I am giving you. Same way you have to do just like a root 2 and root 2. Okay. For theorem 2.5 and theorem 2.6 you have to do as a homework. Prove that root 3 is an irrational number and prove that root 5 is an irrational number. Please do the solution. I will give you the solution in next video, but try by yourself as it is as a root 2. Just do the assumption of rational number, then solve it. You will get your correct answer. Just try. Okay. Now come to the exercise 2.3. Question number first. Prove that 5 minus root 3 is irrational. What we have to prove? This 5 minus root 3 is an irrational number. Very easy. Again the same way we have done theorem. Correct? Let's see here. Solution. Let 5 minus root 3 is a rational number. I am assuming. Then again this is my contradiction assumption. I can write here. Contradictory assumption. Correct. So 5 minus root 3 I can write a by b, and this a by b is a and b what? Integer, and where b is not equals to 0. Correct. This is the way I can write. You know here is some numbers are positive negative. I am sending plus 5 minus root 3. This plus 5 I am sending, this set become negative. So I am taking negative as a common. Negative taken as a common, this converted like this. Root 3 equals to 5 minus a by b. So that root 3 equals to this 5 into b. 5b minus a upon b as a taken as the LCM of b. Correct. A and b and 5 are all are integer, as you know, we have assumed. So 5p minus a upon b is a rational number because of the all are integer. It is written in the p by q's form. Correct. But this contradicts the fact that root 3 is an irrational number. So our hypothesis is wrong. We have done the assumption as a wrong, so that hence 5 minus root 3 is an irrational number, hence proved. Or you can write theorem which 2. Yes, 2.4, 2.5, you can use it. Okay, this is the solution for the question number first, that is prove that 5 minus root 3 is an irrational number. Now come to the next question number second. Here, prove that following numbers are irrational. We have to prove it. So I am doing two questions. One question you have to do as a homework. 1 by root 2 as a rational number. Again I am assuming, so you can write let 1 by root 2 as a rational number, so that 1 by root 2 equals to a by 2 I can write, because it is rational number. It can be write like this. You can write here a and b are integer and b does not equals to 0. Okay, you can write by squaring both the side. I am squaring both the side. What I am getting? 1 by root 2 whole square equals to a by b is whole square. After opening the bracket, 1 square is 1, root 2 square is 2, equals to a square is a square, b square is a b square. I can send this terms and I am multiplying. B square equals to 2a square. Because of this, you can see this 2 is divided by the b. So you can write b divides by 2. So that b also divided by 2. Correct? B square if it is dividing. So I can say b also dividing by the 2. So b equals to 2c. I am taking another as an integer for the solution. So that b square equals to 2c whole square. Why? Here is square, I have to make it a square. B square equals to 4c square. 2a square equals to 4c square. A square equals to 2c square. Hence a square divides by 2, so that a also divides by 2. Hence 2 is a common factor. So my theorem 2.4, you know, I have done it. So that 1 by root 2 is an irrational number. Is it clear? This is the way you have to solve, very easy way if you know the theorems. Now come to this. Third question I am solving. Let 3 root 2 is a rational number. Okay, so that I can write this is the way, or you can write a and b are the integer and b is does not equals to 0. I am multiplying here. This 3 is multiplied. It will go that side, divide. So root 2 equals to 2 by 3b. So a by 3b is a rational number, as you know. But root 2 is what? Not a rational number. It is a irrational number. So it is a contradiction to the fact. So you can write 3 root 2 is an irrational number. Hence proof. So try the second one just like your first question. I am giving you as a homework. Try it. Okay. Now come to the next question. Question number 3. Question number 3 I am solving here. Just see how I can solve it. Okay. Let first I will assume let root p plus root q is a rational number. Correct? I have assumed it, so that I can write this. Root p plus root q is equals to a by b, where b is not equals to 0, where a and b are integer. Correct? So that what you can write next? Root p is equals to a by b minus root q. This is positive, it will go that side, minus. Okay. Both the side squaring. I am doing what? Squaring. So what I will get? Root p square equals to a by b in whole square. Correct. So what you can write? P. Root P square become P is equals to A by B minus root Q whole square. Correct. And there is one identity we have it. What is the identity? A square minus 2AB into B square. Correct or not? See here. A square minus 2AB plus B square is equals to A minus B whole square. Correct or not? So just use it. B square. A square, it means A by B square. Correct. Minus 2 into A by B into root Q plus root Q's square. This is the I have used this identity. Solve it. P equals to A square upon B square minus. See, this is you can write how you can write 2A upon B Q plus Q. Q square, root Q square become 2. So I am writing Q. Correct. After that I am sending this. I'm sending the remaining part this side. How? P minus this. Or I can do, yes, I can send this way. So P minus A square minus B square minus Q is equals to minus 2A B into Q. I put it this one as it is here. You can see I am taking as a minus as a common. So sign will be changed. So by taking minus as common, so you can see P, this negative become positive, A square upon B square, this positive become negative, this negative become positive. Correct. This is the I am getting. After that you can see here this format. You just see P plus A square upon B square minus Q. You can take the LCM of B square. So by LCM of B square. So what I will write here, just see. I can write like this. First I will convert this one as A square upon B square P plus Q. Correct. I can write like this. So that I can including like this. So here is negative. Sorry. Here is negative. Is equals to 2A upon B under root Q. After that just see. After this, I am writing again this equation so you can understand more. Just see, I am writing from here only. What I have converted, I have written like this. A square upon B square plus P minus Q. I can write this is as together. Correct? Equals to 2AB upon Q. Correct? This is the way I have done. Now just see here. Solution should be like this. A square upon B square plus P minus Q. You can see here is Q. So I have taken LCM B square. So just see. If I will take here, I have to be multiplied. So A square plus P minus Q into B square upon B square equals to 2A upon B into Q. Correct. After that solve it. Again you can see this is the, I have to multiply inside, or I can do this, I can send this side as a multiplication. So what I am getting? A square plus P minus Q B square upon B square into this, B is dividing, it will go that side, multiplying upon 2A is equals to root Q. After that just see. Here is 2A, here is B square. So I have to take LCM as a 2AB. So you can see here. Just see how to solve them next. Anything is dividing or not. Just see. B is dividing with this square. What reminder? A square plus B minus Q B square upon 2AB is equals to root q. As you know, this complete part is your rational number, so you can write a square plus p minus q b square upon 2ab is rational number, so that root q is also rational number, but this is contrary to the fact, so that assumption is wrong. Therefore, hence you can write hence more, because we have to write only solution. Root p plus root q is a irrational number. Hence proved. This is the question of your last question of this exercise. After that, again you have a new topics with the new theorems. We will be with the new theorems. Thank you.